Chantal Willie-Petersen, a composer, educator, scholar, and activist for women empowerment in the field of music study, has completed 2 master's degrees in music in Belgium and curates masterclasses nationally and abroad. So she's currently head of jazz studies at Wits, and she's also launched the national program into 2 international collaborative projects, one in West Africa 2024 and now in the US with the world's most prestigious jazz institute. She's here on the seat this morning to tell a little bit more about her work, her current projects and her journey on to date. Chantal, on that note, good morning. Thank you for your time.
On a note of great grace and great gratitude to everyone that's just created this opportunity for me to be a voice this morning. It's great to meet you, Liesl, and thank you to Curates, her team, and so many others that I have the privilege to really just be an expression of answer to you and hopefully just inspiration to anyone listening this morning.
You are inspiring us because, yes, I know, you can see the humility. You are a vessel, but you've done the work, right? So, and this is how the baton gets handed over. So thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
But your own journey then, let's just go back. The influences, when that spark would have kicked off for you, evolving your own sound as well. Tell us about that process for you.
Thank you, Liesl. So I was born in 1978, and so, you know, I had parents who were and are pastors. My mom passed away, but you know, my father is still very much pastoring, and so growing in a home where music was a part of our worship, it was a part of our individual expression, our spiritual practice, but really what it did was really inspire the idea that we are able to talk, we're able to communicate, we're able to resolve, we're able to be better heard at times when there is another language, because music is such a language of expression, but it has also served so many avenues of progression. It has served so many avenues for creative strategies that have really helped even our society at large. So as a young child, always being motivated to, I think, really understand what are our gifts and talents. How do we multiply that? How does it become a blessing for others? How do we steward it? How do we become good custodians of what it is this gift truly carries in the earth? So I've always had encouragement. I've always had mentorship. I've always had opportunity to do even when mistakes have come. And I think that has been really the fortitude of what the philosophy is behind not only who I am here today, but with regard to also the band members who are with me today, leaders in their own right, Dr. Puti Sapiro, Ms. Zasia Zacchaeus, and Tanisha Govender, graduate at Wits. They've all come through, I think, what I would say today, that music has been prompted at a young age, but also with the principle that it is far more than just the sound, far more than just, of course, sometimes the opportunity to have a platform where you're able to express your interests, your emotions, your sort of ideas around thought. So it's just been a privilege.
Tell us a little bit more about that, because jazz was a form of protest music. You're speaking about serving as a voice for the voiceless as well, amplifying your own voice, your own healing as well. What resonates for you? What's that message?
I think the message is the idea that we are needing to address some issues that are not only about fluidity in terms of how it is that we become more inclusive, how it is that we think about education, because a lot of my peers today are also really prime educators and multi-award-winning songstresses, having won, you know, Zasia has won the South African Award for the best female artist. So there's something about when achievement is brought through and your gift is recognized, how do we as a message continue to understand that there's still so much work to be built on the good work that has been done, but how do we address the areas for growth? How do we continue to put people in the right place so that we potentialize this sector and make it truly fruitful, make it powerful so that there is financial grace to prosper, so that the sectors that where there are marginal silos, that we can really understand what is a good working pattern, what are good infrastructures, what are good systemic ways in which we do the work in a way that doesn't have to take the labor that it was before.
And the process becomes the purpose as well. Because
absolutely.
To your point, music is a language we all understand with the heart. And it resonates with the global audience as well. So you're asserting our agency on that front. What's that process been like, particularly with the projects and the programs that you've also got running?
Thank you so much, Liesl. You know, I have had the privilege to just pilot some programs with the Transatlantic Jazz Exchange, whose vision is Nasia Styria. I've had the opportunity to work with the Lincoln Jazz Center and very other astute I mean, it's international organizations. When I served as the president for the South African Association for Jazz Education, of which it has now been put into good hands and sturdy hands that are moving forward, and it's an organization for 31 years. So there are definite organizations that have built historic relationships, historic rapport, and at the moment in the position that I serve at Wits, we have some really exciting programs that are also being initiated with the Music Conservatory, the Paris Conservatory of Music, and also initiatives that are happening bilaterally with the great festivals that are happening within the country. We are also benefiting from access to those artists who are coming up to Johannesburg, and then just facilitating more work, initiating greater relationships with the Johannesburg
you see, that's you're in diplomacy now, cultural diplomacy, but you're also looking at the role of women. And I wonder if you can speak to that evolution as well over the years, what the challenges remain as well, but what also we can expect as we continue with your own legacy unfolding.
Liesl, thank you. So I mean, I certainly am going to be sharing my personal view based on experience, but what I certainly know is that there has been more focus, more attention towards how women play a great role in being able to build the expression of this music and have voice to certain sensitivities, certain awarenesses, certain nurturing flows that I think are just so innate to the design of who women are and the roles that are played. And so I think there is a new and an awakening, but also a very settled establishment of highly successful women in jazz and jazz expression. And I think the work that could be done is to continue to understand the significance, as your previous speaker was talking to, of collaborative work.
Yes.
And really understanding that there is the type of integrity that can be held where we can give space for individual expression and contribution, but understand ultimately that there's a collective front that is always going to barrier through greater breakthrough for what's required for women and the voice, where we can really be authentic. Not have to apologize, not have to live up to a standard that is genderized, but truly be okay with what I've been through, what I have to say, and how it makes impact to create a message that is going to create a fortitude of love, really.
The great remembering. So I know you're not alone, because you mentioned how important it is to collaborate.
Yes.
Just very quickly, you're performing for us soon. So who are you performing with as well? Tell us about that as we wrap up.
Thank you, Liesl. I have the privilege to work with Dr. Puti Sapiro. She's from UNISA University, and she also heads up and leads a lot of organizational work and scholarship. I am with Ms. Zasia Zacchaeus, who was the 2018 South African Mzansi Award winner for her best album, and also Tanisha Govender, who's just finished her Zasia's on voice, and Tanisha Govender is a harpist. She's just graduated with her master's in classical music. So great to be here today.
We are in for a treat. Thank you so much, Chantal. All the best. We'll see you on the other side of the show as we continue to listen to that this morning. Chantal Willie-Petersen, composer, educator, scholar, activist for women's empowerment, of course, playing her role in the jazz scene and just being a vessel for change. Let's leave that conversation there. We're going to take a quick ad break. Upon a return, you mentioned all the greats. They're going to be in the studio now to serenade us. Do stay tuned.